The Liberal Women's March will follow the March for Life this weekend on the grounds of the nation's capital. It's getting lots of attention this year for concern over anti-Semitism, including leaders associating with anti-Semites like Louis Farrakhan. I spoke with Tiana Lowe with the Washington Examiner about the march and concern for the direction it's heading. Tiana, tell us about the claims of anti-Semitism among the leadership of the Women's March.
There was this extremely damning tablet report that came out last month that alleged that member Tamika Mallory, who's the co-president of the Women's March, in one of the initial meetings establishing the organization, had insinuated this conspiracy that Jews are to blame for anti-Black oppression. And then there's been the continued association with Rasmea Odeh, a convicted terrorist who's killed Jews. And most notably, Linda Sarsour, Tamika Mallory, and Carmen Perez's devotion to Louis Farrakhan, who has equated Jews with termites.
Tell us about what happened on The View with the Women's March co-president Tamika Mallory.
So it took none other than a daytime talk show host in Meghan McCain to question Tamika Mallory, hold her feet to the fire, and not just say, do you think that Farrakhan is wrong, but do you condemn what he has to say? And Tamika Mallory, it was astonishing. She continually fell back on, I do not agree with everything he says, however, I won't condemn it, and then attempted to use identity politics to spin away her responsibility for associating with a man who has used extremely violent and hateful, openly anti-Semitic language to describe Jews.
Is there a disconnect with the leaders of the march and what other women in the country want or believe?
Certainly. I mean, I think that the Women's March is not inherently a terrible concept. Female empowerment matters in a country where women still have to make strides. But most women don't want to be sliced and diced into this intersectional catastrophe where they have to alienate pro-life women, where they have to alienate Christian women, where they have to alienate Jewish women, and you're all in this intense hierarchy of oppression where you have more points if you're more LGBTQ or if you're more of a woman of color. This is not what women want. Women want to uplift each other, not tear each other down.
And you've also written that some of the march leaders have ties to terrorists?
Yes. So Angela Davis will be speaking at the Women's March. She is a convicted terrorist. She was formerly on the FBI's Most Wanted. And Rasmea Odeh was someone who they were fighting for. The hashtag was Justice for Rasmea. And she, again, convicted, found guilty of killing 2 Jews in Israel.
How is this playing out in today's political arena?
So I think for a while, those on the left thought that they could coast by on continuing to associate with the Women's March because they were seen as intersectional feminist heroes. They hated the president. They were hateful towards all the right people. They alienated pro-life Christians. But I think now that people are seeing that intersectionality always devours its own, because you cannot claim the mantle of oppression without blaming someone else.
Tiana Lowe with the Washington Examiner. Thank you for your time.